Hey there, welcome to the first video after the 1 year video of Metal Sharpens Metal. It's not that special, but it's just, this is the first one. So, thought you should know that.
Thought you ought to know.
And this is also the first video with one of the new shirts. What do you think? You like it? You can get this. The link to the store is in the description below. This song that we're going to do today is called Strength's Perspective by No Bragging Rights. That's pretty hard to say fast. Strength's Perspective. Yeah, we got some nice melodic hardcore back on the channel. Did another video for these guys about probably a year ago now. And yeah, excited to go listen to it. Let's check it out. Okay. Gosh, the CP just turned out really well. Congrats, first of all, to the guys. Good music. Yes. Gosh. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. Just the singing over the double time, carry on your shoulders, and I just, man, if that part doesn't speak to you, just like I said in the Caleb Graham video, it's time for you to call your parents because there's something that you need to get off your chest. Okay, that part is powerful, and my gosh, they got so much going on. They got the little lead line runs and the like. The filter on the guitar, it's like an electric playing without, being plugged in or something. I love that. And they actually were foreshadowing the breakdown here for the end. So yeah, it's going to get awesomer, if that's even possible. Back up a second here. I see that hi-hat work. I love it. So many gang vocals this part. I love it. And Mike's voice is so passionate. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. And it sounds like the song could end here. I mean, I'd be sad if it did, but it sounds like an outro, but no. And the snare just sounds like a gunshot. I love that. The ambience of that guitar in the background. Yeah, and that actually fades really well into the next song, so yeah, go check that out too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these guys just pump me up, and like they write such emotional music that even without the lyrics, you can just tell that they're just throwing their hearts into it. I love what they put out. The melody choices are amazing. They really kind of pull on your heartstrings. That's how I feel. I'm not sure why that is. There's probably some technical reason to like the keys they choose or whatever. But yeah, it's so good. And Mike's voice, they took a big break between the Concrete Flower and this album. So the Concrete Flower was the song that I did for their first video. And then this one came out like 8 years later, I think, 7 years later, maybe. Mike and everyone kind of kept the skills up. They changed out a guitarist, and he fits in like a glove, really doing a great job. Like a glove. But yeah, Mike's voice, that is one of the hardest instruments to maintain over the years. Your voice it changes as you get older. It can be really challenging to age well over the years. Mike is making it look easy. He sounds just as good as ever, if not better. The huge note that he did in that second chorus, strength that faces each new day, and he hit that like, my gosh, you know, and he's got that deeper voice that I talked about, that rich timbre, so it makes him sound like he's not hitting the highest of notes. It makes it sound like the note is a little bit more subdued than the guys with those voices that can break glass, but he's hitting the same notes that some of these very notable guys that are out here singing. So basically what I'm trying to say is, when Jesse Cash from Era hits a high note, it sounds very different than the exact same high note sung by Mike Perez. Anyway, it's just worth noting. He's singing very high. He's screaming with a lot of intensity still. Yeah, this is amazing stuff still. And the rising notes in that chorus, like it kind of just keeps going up. It sounds like a progression up a staircase, and it pairs perfectly with, you know, pushing forward in spite of a bunch of pain. So yeah, at least in my mind, these guys have cemented themselves as kind of the more encouraging version of the band Counterparts. I really like both bands for different reasons, but at least with MBR, you know that you're getting the good cop iteration of melodic hardcore. Hey guys, really quick, I wanted to jump in and clarify something that I didn't say super correctly in the video. I kind of did say it, but I was trying to work it around this silly nepotism joke that ended up, I think, feeling very flat, because I'm not related to Mike Perez. So this is officially the first repeat band I've had on the channel. And the reason that I made that the case is because Mike actually sent me a personalized video on his YouTube channel. He didn't have a great way to connect with me. He was like, I want to clarify a couple things, so let me send this video to Daniel, addressing the first No Bragging Rights video that we did. That's why I wanted to pick them as being the first repeat band on the channel. I did kind of repeat with August Burns Red, but because the first video didn't talk about the band a whole lot in detail, I only did that in the second video. I only considered that one official video for ABR. NBR is getting the official title of first repeat band on Metal Sharpens Metal. It's an extremely long plaque to try to put onto a trophy. Didn't quite fit, so I didn't make it. It's also very arbitrary and silly. Let's jump back into the video. I don't demand or expect a response from all these bands that I'm addressing, but a newfound goal of the channel that I mentioned in the 1-year update video has been to talk to some of these band members and have a conversation, like we were sitting down for dinner or a cigar or something like that. They need the gospel just as much as we all do, and they have also given me a lot of cool songs and memories over the years. So yeah, if I get any contact with them, I will be downright pumped. And it really did warm my heart that Mike went out of his way to say something directly to me. So to quickly sum up, you can go watch his video on his channel if you want, but to quickly sum up, he claims Christ as well. In my first No Bragging Rights video, if you go back and watch it, I said that the band seemed to have renounced their faith. And this was partly because they had lyrics that sounded like people who grew up in a Christian home, became disenfranchised with the concept of religion, and now found a new home in the hardcore community. However, rereading some of Mike's lyrics with his video in mind and the fact that he claims Christ, yeah, shows me a different angle of how they can be interpreted. So I am very grateful to hear the more personal view of the internal man of Mike Perez.
And beneath the man, we find his nucleus.
So to understand today's song, we need to understand Mike's day job. He is a social worker, and it sounds like he deals with some really emotionally heavy stuff. And in some of his schooling, I guess they taught him something called a strengths perspective, which is the concept of reminding somebody of their strengths and resilience in the face of their problems and mental turmoil and whatever's going on. And so, you know, a lot of the meaning that I'm pulling from this is coming from directly from the CD liner notes. but also from a couple podcasts that Mike did with his friend Mike. So yeah, it's not like Mike is dealing with people who are struggling to find the motivation to mow the lawn this week. Though I will say, even though this is about more serious stuff than that, I have pushed many a barbell to this song. Having Mike yell in your ear as your personal powerlifting coach and telling you how strength finds a way is...
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
Seriously, this is excellent lifting music, so I highly recommend it for your next gym visit. So yeah, I think we have some interesting applications, especially as Christians here. We have lines about, the weight that you're carrying on your shoulder and your breathing is getting harder. It feels like your chest is filled with water. So there's a sense of, just a lot. Just life is crushing you and there's a lot going on. You don't have to lie. You don't have to be broken around me. One note that I thought was interesting that he said is, the brokenness is not what I see. And I think this is a great reminder that we shouldn't focus on the shortcomings that we see in ourselves and others, constantly just dwelling on all the negativity and the bad things about somebody. However, I will say as a Christian that we should not downplay our problems because we need to start there to recognize our need for a Savior. We are weak, broken creatures because of the fall, and we need God's providential grace to sustain us every moment. Not only this, but God has gone above and beyond our bare needs by providing his Son as a sacrifice and a friend to us when we come to him in faith. Even though we continue to experience death and the curse in our physical bodies in this life, Jesus keeps his promises to us by forgiving us. And after our earthly lives are complete, he promises to give us a new kind of body that will never die. In Genesis, there's this really striking scene where God is talking to Abraham. He tells him to cut up several animals and lay them out. And then he puts Abraham in a deep sleep and gives him a vision. And in that vision, God tells Abraham what he's going to do for his descendants, how he's going to bring them out of slavery, and makes promises about the future. And then God tells him that he's going to bring them through all of this in the face of adversity. And then after that, Abraham sees this flaming torch passing between the cut up animals that he had laid out. The significance of this metaphor is as if God is saying, let me be cut in half like these animals if I break my promises to you. So God was swearing by the highest authority that he could, which is God himself. And since we know that it's impossible for God to be cut in half and die, this promise is the surest thing that we can hold on to.
It's true.
So when I hear this line here, that strength finds a way, it reminds me that God's strength is made perfect in our weaknesses, as Paul says. And it gives me the hope to carry on. And this hope is an assurance of something that's definitely going to happen in the future. And I'm as sure about it as I am that there's going to be air available for the next breath I take. We aren't promised easy lives, but we are promised God's blessing through his son Jesus when we come humbly to the foot of his cross. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you, Mike, for the video clearing some things up and also for writing this amazing song. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Strength, soap. These guys just pop out bangers like something that pops things out a lot. Okay.